and detailing the content and the structure of the program, and also answering your direct questions that you may have. I'll be talking to you about Faith Foundation and about the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program, especially this centenary edition that we're having. Good morning to you, Joseph. I see your message in the chat box. Good morning, Joseph Oni. From Joseph Top Hill Consult. You are very welcome, as well as everybody else. Onu Nicholas, you are welcome. Your hands are raised. I'm not sure if you want to say something, but you get some time to speak at some point in the program. Good morning, Bright. Good morning, Abiodun. Good morning, Basirat. Good morning, Wanola. Good morning, Mr. Ibrahim Salau. You are welcome. I see everybody here. We're just going to jump right into it. So just give me a second to share my screen, please. Thank you. Can you please confirm that you can see my screen? Great. Hello?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. So you are welcome again, everybody. I just need to remove this a little bit away. Yeah. You're welcome again. My name again is Oge Naife, and you are welcome to the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Centenary Edition Information Session. I'll move quickly. So what we'll be talking about today is, apologies, let me apologize on behalf of the Executive Director of Faith Foundation, Adenike Adeyemi, who is regrettably not able to join in this morning. She will join in at some point after 10 o'clock, but I will be standing in for her until she does. Her job here was really very simple, which was really to welcome you on board, welcome you into the session, and that was it, which I believe I have already done. So again, on behalf of Adenike Adeyemi, you are all welcome to this information session. We'll be moving straight up to welcoming the course director for the centenary edition of the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program. Before that, let me quickly walk us through. So we'll have the course director, Mr. Ibrahim Salau, who's the managing director of Environmental Accord, speak to us for a few minutes just about his experience with Faith Foundation, what he already knows about the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program. He's a great resource person. He's a great advocate for Faith Foundation and Faith Foundation's programs, and also supports us very, very strongly. After that, we would have some interactive experience sharing with some of the alumni members who've gone through this same program in the past. I'll talk about when Faith Foundation started and all of that in the course of the presentation, but we'll have Coinsola Veracruz, who is the CEO of Tresses by K Veracruz, speaking to us and sharing her experience with the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program. We'll also have Dr. Oganze Eke, who's the CEO of Fitness Fair Limited, and then we'll have Dr. Peter Badari, who is the co-founder of Digital Encode, also share his experience with us at some point in this presentation. And then I'll walk us through the overview of the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program, just detailing the content, detailing the structure, detailing the timelines and everything that you need to know about the program. And then at the end, at some point, you also get to ask your direct questions and we can respond to that. And then we'll have the interactive Q&A, like I mentioned. So I would please everyone join me to welcome Mr. Ibrahim Salau, who's the Managing Director of Environmental Accord Limited, and who is the amazing course director for this centenary edition of the AEP program. You are very welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oge. Can everybody see me and hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm not sure how this works, but can you see my face?
Yes, we can. We can see you.
We can see you, sir. Yes, we
Okay,
can, sir.
because I'm in a public place, and I just had to make some time out to join. Apologies, please. And I want to start by again welcoming everyone to the event. And I want to say that this will be a time well spent, in the sense that the value uh, that the Aspiring Entrepreneurship Program of the Foundation brings uh, is really, really huge. I'll share some perspectives on this. So sit back, relax, and really enjoy this time out with us. Now, I say us because, like Ogi said, I am a part and parcel of Faith Foundation, and you would understand why very, very shortly. Um, so yeah, let me give you a bit of background to me so you can understand where I'm coming from. So I read engineering, chemical engineering at the University of Lagos. And my final year research thesis was industrial solid waste disposal in Lagos State. So when I finished that work, I just, with the opportunities that I saw, I decided that I would build a career around environmental management. But so I then decided to work with some consulting firms for about 10 years, after which I decided to do my own business. So I worked for about 10 years. You know, they say that when you spend 10 years doing something, you become an expert. So I was really a technical expert. I had this colleague at work who shared kind of a similar entrepreneurship zeal with me. And he was the first to come to Faith Foundation to attend the AEP. I think he was in AEP 1 or 2. I was in AEP 4. So it took in 2001. It took the AEP course in 2001, and then he came back because we were colleagues at work and told me that, look, if I really am going to be serious about my entrepreneurship pursuit, this is something I must do. His name is Odoni Kosi. Interestingly, we're in the same field. He's the managing director of EnviroQuest Limited. So he came back and told me that, look, Ibrahim, you have to go to Faith. Because we were very good close friends. We also had similar backgrounds. He's also a chemical engineer. So I then came to Faith Foundation in 2002. I was in the AP4 class. Why that was important is, like I told you, I had built up this technical expertise over a period. I could do anything in that field. But having a technical expertise and being good at it is completely different from running a business. Completely different, and in many ways. So it was the AEP program that really drove this point home for me. I saw that I was not as ready as I thought I was to start. And it wasn't just that I was not ready, it was also that I would be needing some crucial help to be able to realize my entrepreneurship dreams. So the first thing was that the AEP program provided a platform to systematically and structurally position the business that I had in mind, the business of environmental consulting. So how that happened was that, the final output of the AEP program is your business plan. And that was the very first time that I will be writing a business plan. So by the time I finished writing it, I had significant doubts about whether I was going to, be doing this or not. And it actually took me another 1 year of additional work to them because I saw the gaps that I needed to fill. The AEP program provided me with the issues that I needed and the issues that I needed to arise to be able to start off. I realized that my technical expertise was not going to be enough. So I needed to then work on it, on all of those gaps to enhance my chances. So in 2003, I then started Environmental Accord Limited. But starting, even with the best of business plans, starting also, any startup would have challenges, as you would know. So there are key aspects of the AEP program that are really, really designed to support entrepreneurs. And one of them is the mentoring aspect. A rookie, you're just going into a business. What's more can give you value or support you than the experiences of people who have done this before, who have made mistakes, and who knows what has worked, who knows what has not worked. That is gold for any budding entrepreneur because we are learning from people who have done it. And the AEP program comes with a fantastic mentoring program. So this mentoring program actually goes beyond the actual length of the program itself, such that when you have graduated, you're paired with an experienced entrepreneur who is able to guide you through some delicate challenges that you will definitely come across. My final point, and why I would want to encourage you, is the kind of support that I got with respect to funding. Funding is one of the greatest challenges that any startup would have. And I'll share my experience with you on how Faith Foundation came to my support. We our very first. I will spare you the background to how that came about. But our very first project was from Chevron. It was, I think, it was about 2 point something million naira then in 2004. It was Q1 2004. And we needed to raise like $1 million naira. It was not like we needed to raise exactly 1 million naira then, which I didn't have because as at the time that I started Environmental Accord, my monthly salary was 40,000 naira. So I then what the first thing I did was to talk to banks. No bank wanted to give us. My enthusiasm then was, Chevron, they can't default now. We will get our money and we will pay you back. But it was not enough. Absolutely no bank came to our support. And I recall that I visited most of the banks in here at that time, taking the contract papers to them, telling them that we have this contract, because the thing with these oil companies is that you have to raise money to start. It is when you finish that you will get paid, or when you have done some substantial work that you will get paid. So I didn't get it. We were not at the verge of losing that contract. Typically, Faith Foundation will not give you money. But there was something that they did that really that order, and that was that they now gave us a referral letter. And that with the referral letter to say, okay, look, we know this person and we can attest to the fact that all the information is telling you are correct, and we are confident that you will pay back. because the challenge I was having with a lot of those banks was that we were just a startup. We didn't have, it was our very first project. Yes, Chevron would pay back. What if we don't deliver? What if we don't get paid? But with the reference, with the referral letter that we got from Faith Foundation, then AEP Bank had a trust. They had like a finance arm of business. It was, I can't remember their name again, but it was an arm of AEP Bank then that gave us that money based on the Faith Foundation reference letter that we got, and then we were able to then execute the project successfully, and of course pay back AEP Bank the loan. So this is just an example of the kind of value that you can get and the kind of support that Faith Foundation can provide. So I really wish you well. Like Oge said, I'm the course director. I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm actually just seated over breakfast, trying to catch a 10:30 meeting. But as the course director, I would, I am a part and parcel of the course, and I would hope to share more perspectives with you over time. And I thank you again for joining us today. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Salau. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with Faith Foundation and your journey. We really, really do appreciate you. And honestly, what Mr. Salau has shared, his experience and much more, is really what the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program can offer. So I mean, after this, I believe that you will be convinced to make the right or necessary steps to joining this centenary edition. So right now, I will move on to the next thing on our agenda, which is to introduce some of our alumni members from the program who will be sharing their experience with us as well. And I want you to please pay attention and take everything that you can take out of it so that you can also ask necessary questions at the end of the day. I would like to quickly call on Dr. Uganze. Dr. Uganze, are you here? I saw you at some point when you joined. Hello, Dr. Oganze. Are you here? Dr. Oganze is the CEO of Fitness Fair Limited, and she is an alumnus from the Aspiring Entrepreneurs class 24. So imagine that we are planning to have the 100th class. You're very welcome, Dr. Oganze. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, everyone. And I would like to use the opportunity to say a great, big, heartfelt thank you to Faith Foundation for inviting me. I started my journey to Faith because I knew that I needed help. And I think for every entrepreneur, it's important to know that starting a business is not just making money. I am a pharmacist by training, and sometimes you feel you know a lot of things because of the degrees you might have attained or some things that you've done with your life. But believe me, starting a business, especially in fact, starting a business at all, it doesn't matter in which area, you need to know that there are different levels of information and education and knowledge you must imbibe to be able to do it right. So making money, anybody can do that. People trade, people get rich. But one of the things I learned from my foundation, especially where I come from, is that a lot of men have made money. A lot of people have established huge businesses, but they never really structured, and they never could transfer what they had done to other people when they grew older to be able to allow the business to outlive them. And for me, I felt that if I was going to be doing business, or if I was going to be engaging in my own business, I needed to know how to do it right, how to make sure I paid my taxes, I got registered properly, I got the right staff, I knew what my name would mean to other people, I understood branding. I understood keeping records. I understood having a business plan to guide me. And most importantly, I wanted my business to outlive me. And for these reasons, before I started my business fitness fair, I was still working as a pharmacist in one of the multinational companies. And it was a proper thinking through and praying through that I did. And interestingly, Faith Foundation was on my way home. So I figured, okay, I close work at 4 and then I could join the classes at 5. And they always made it convenient to the businessman or woman because they understand that most of us don't have time. And that's one thing I must say about having doing a course in faith. They are flexible and they understand you as an entrepreneur. So I was doing that and I was still working. I want us to understand that my vision to learn from faith started with AEP. And I'm happy to say that I continued to EEP, and the testimony is still the same when I decided that I needed to scale up. So what was my AEP experience like? Amazing. I learned so much. And like I said, I had a mentor, and that was a life changer for me because I wrote a business plan that I thought was okay for me. But this, my mentor walked me through what a proper business plan needed to say or to, to have as components that opened my eyes. One of the key things I learned in AEP, and I haven't forgotten it till today, is that in one class, I was asked this question: what are the children of your business? You may have a seed idea, but what are the possible other businesses or children that can be birthed from this dream? And for the first time, I understood that, oh, I can actually start with one thing. And as I progress in that thought or that business, it could give birth to other, means and sources of income. And so that helped me understand that fitness sphere could actually begin, with other things under her. And today, I basically function under 3 children. I have my fitness fair stores, which deals in goods section. To have the fitness fair nutrition, which focuses on foods and natural, processes. And recently, we also added, salads and stuff like that to it. And then finally, I have my fitness fair wellness, which is the corporate consultancy arm of my business. And this has been major because now we are transitioning into all sorts of exciting things. If I didn't understand that I was free to express myself in different ways under one umbrella in AEP, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. I'm so grateful to Faith because they don't just bring you into a program that and it's about your money, which truly is minimal compared to what other people are taking. I'm just saying that by the time you come into AEP, you're going to get so much more value. And more importantly, your vision will be nurtured, and they have a strong support system to give you all that you need to progress to the next level. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you all join this class. And it's truly a life changer. God bless you all.
Thank you, Dr. Oganze. Thank you for sharing your experience. The AEP must have been a life changer for you because Dr. Oganze, like she mentioned, went on to join the Emerging Entrepreneurs Program a few years after, and she's doing amazingly well in her business today. She's one of our super women. So thank you very much for joining in today. Dr. Oganze is are you still on the road? Is on the road, and she because of her commitment and just sheer
Yes,
love.
I am on the road.
Thank you so much for joining. I mean, even with that, she still found the time to come share her experience. I would also, so thank you, Dr. Oganze. Thank you very much for your time. I would now be calling on a very special someone, Dr. Peter Badari. Are you here? I know that I saw you as well in the room.
Yes,
Dr.
good morning, everyone.
Yes, Dr. Peter Badari is the co-founder of Digital Encode, and he's an amazing resource person as well, supports and continues to support Faith Foundation all around through facilitation, mentoring of entrepreneurs and things like that. But I'll leave the floor to you, Dr. Peter. Please go ahead.
Okay, so let me see if I can turn on my video. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's see if all right, so can you all, okay, I hope you can all see me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so all right, good morning, everyone. So it's my pleasure to come around to share my own Faith Foundation story. All right, so I actually was I was part of the AEP 12 in the year 2004, right? So in my own entrepreneurial journey as well, there is no way the story is never complete without Faith Foundation. And my journey and story is actually very, is a little bit interesting because I normally, each time I come around to Faith Foundation, I tell the fellow entrepreneurs that I used to be an accidental entrepreneur, because, some people actually, what I mean by that is a lot of people have actually made up their mind that they want to run a business. It wasn't like I planned to actually run a business. It was accidental. It was accidental because of the situation I find myself. I had a polytechnic background. I read electrical electronics, and then it was tough looking for a good place to work. And then, of course, so just like they say that necessity is the mother of invention. So I started to like, okay, what can I do instead of just looking for a job everywhere? So interestingly, I started to monetize my skill of engineering in information technology. So in that process, so what we call it then, there was no structure. There was, in fact, we call it wasn't like a business. It was, in fact, we call it private, in fact, PP. PP means private practice. You understand? So, which means that, okay, if there's anything, so there was no strong structure. There was no system around everything that I was doing. That was as early as far back as 2002, 2003, and I was just living life. You understand? And I was just making a living. Up until 2004, and one of my auntie just called me and said, Wale, do you know that this thing that you are doing, you can actually, you can create a system, you can create a structure, around it, you understand? And then it can actually be something that can not just about feeding you, but it can even, create more value for more people. I was like, wow. So she said, you know what I'm going to do for you? So she mentioned Faith Foundation. In fact, when she mentioned Faith Foundation to me, I was like, auntie, I don't even have the money to go to a business school, that because I was expecting, because when she told me the kind of people that we come, to facilitate the lecture, because in those days you have MD of banks, you have an executive director from banks, you understand, to come and facilitate. I almost passed out because I said, auntie, with all of this profile that you are listing, I don't think I can pay. And she told me, no, that Faith Foundation is actually not like that. You understand? And before I knew what was happening, she gave me the address. I was actually shocked, when they told us, what the amount that we're actually going to pay. And that was how I started Faith Foundation. So what am I trying to say in all of this is, when I started Faith, believe me sincerely, so from an accidental entrepreneur, what Faith Foundation has done for me is to turn me into a disciplined entrepreneur. And in that disciplined entrepreneur, it means that, my business there was no structure, no system about it. I started to understand, a lot of fundamentals of how to run a business that will outlive you. So because there are two different things. There is just making a living, all right? There is just making a living, and there is building the structure around your business, that your business is not just making a living, but you are impacting other people, and then you can run a business that will outlive you. And that was how, my mind was blown open. So I had to understand, even that. I never knew there was a difference between vision and mission, just as simple as that, that your vision is different from your mission. It was at Faith Foundation, I understood that concept very well. And from there, gradually, from all the classes, I started to understand, the principle of marketing, the principle of negotiation, the principle of, you're keeping your books as an entrepreneur. You understand? Because that time when we make money, we just make money, garbage in, garbage out. You understand? There was no financial, structure around the business. But it was from Faith Foundation, I started to understand that, wow. So you need to separate the business from your individuality. You understand? So faith, in a very simple word, turn around my life. You understand? And that was how, from that accidental entrepreneur, I became a disciplined entrepreneur. And guess what? If I'm going to, tell you one truth today, that business, I started with just my intellectual property. But today, that business has employed over 20 people, direct labor, 20 people, right? And then almost indirect 50 people, in terms of all the consultants we work with all over the world. That business that just started with me and my partner, today we have an office in New York, all right? We have an office in New York. And in fact, I tell people, in fact, I think the last interview I had with Faith Foundation was, I was saying, the business from $0, if you want to measure it in dollars, so that, in $0 or €0, the business is worth, in fact, as at last time I was talking to Faith, I think it was 8.5, but today the business is worth over $15 million today as we speak. So, but it was not automatic. That journey was not automatic. The journey was because I was part of the Aspiring Entrepreneurship Program. I learned all of those principles, all of those principles that, vision, mission, marketing, you understand, cost accounting, financial intelligence, negotiation. Honestly, my negotiation class changed a lot of dynamics in the way I negotiate even till today. So because we had the best of the lecturers, you understand. And then while we are all doing all of this, another great thing, beyond the knowledge that Faith Foundation impacted, honestly, there's what I call, faith will enhance your company brand visibility if you know how to use it very well. And I'll give you a practical example. In the year 2008, don't forget, I came to Faith Foundation in 2004. The journey began. I did my business plan as well, just like every other speaker has shared their own experience. I learned the concept of business planning. How do you use, all of those pieces that everybody is talking about. But then I had a very good story support from Faith Foundation as well. I wanted to, can you still hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Very well.
Yes, we can.
Oh, all right. So I wanted to partner with an international company in the US just to, because from Faith Foundation, just like I told you, it wasn't just about making a living. How do you scale your business so that your business can move from the next level? So I got this vision to partner with a US company. And guess what? It was tough. You know what it is when you're talking about US visa. All my friends, everybody, fellow entrepreneurs are like, Wale, this is just a dream. There was nothing I could do. But one Sunday, I was inspired by the Holy Spirit that, Wale, you know what? Can you go to Faith Foundation? And I went to Faith Foundation. I explained, in fact, at that time, because even till now, Faith has an alumni support program. So I went with them, and the person in charge, I explained what my intention, that I need to go to United States of America, to go and partner, especially, precisely San Francisco, that this is, I want to partner with this company and blah, blah, blah. I explained, that what can Faith Foundation, guess what? Without even lobbying, without doing any lobby, I still have the letter. You understand? In fact, because that letter is very important to me. she just wrote a letter that, don't worry, Mr. Badari, she wrote, Faith Foundation, that was how Faith Foundation wrote a referral letter, recommendation letter for me to the United States of America. Guess what? My interview, it was a game changer when I got to the US Embassy. I was shocked because, before I knew what was happening, they just said, okay, what you want to go and do? I told them I'm actually a Faith alumnus. And then, in fact, within 2 minutes, I got the US visa. And that was how I got to the US. I was able to partner with that company. And today, that solution, since 2008, I have sold that solution to all the Nigerian banks in Nigeria, making, millions and millions and millions and millions of naira. So what am I trying to say? You can imagine, yes, though there was no connection, there was no background, but with Faith Foundation, I was able to leverage, going through the AEP class, I was able to leverage that. And then today, my business is actually a success story. So what I'm trying to say in one sentence is, come to Faith, come and enjoy all of these great benefits, honestly. And I can tell you, you understand, with discipline, because Faith will teach you discipline, which is why, you will be shocked how God will move your business from ground zero and you become a success. So it's my pleasure to share this with you this morning. And I hope to see all of you in the AEP. It's actually a very interesting class, AEP 100. You understand? So I'm welcoming you in advance. You understand? Don't wait. Come on time and register. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Badari. At the time where you did AEP 12, you were Mr. Badari. You are now Dr. Badari with many certifications, still piling up. If Dr. Badari sends you an email, there's a truckload of certifications that accompanies that, and it's really just hard work. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your experience. Your experience always just lifts my spirit up and just continues to lay the emphasis that what Faith Foundation is doing is good work. So thank you so much for joining this morning and for sharing your experience. We also have Sola, but she's not here now. The reason why we wanted a spread across the different years where the program has happened is so that they can also share with you, even in terms of the curriculum and how the curriculum continues to evolve and become better and more relevant and speak to a lot of local context and content. But Sola Veracruz is the CEO of Tresses by K Veracruz. She did a more recent AEP program, AEP 55, class 55, but she's not, she hasn't joined us yet. I'm still trying to follow up with her. Once I know that she's here, I will also call her up to share her experience. But we'll just move on from here. Great. Please let me know when Koyi joins. It will be great to still hear her speak to us. So what I'm going to be doing right now is just going through the overview of the program, which will help you to answer quite a lot of questions that you already have. And then if you still have further questions, you can take that at the end of this presentation. It will be very short and straight to the point, and I'll try to be as brief as possible. Great. My colleague here will be helping me share move the slide. So let's have the next slide, please. Again, my name is Oge Naife. I'm the Senior Programs Manager and Head of the Startups and Youth Enterprise Programs and Unit at Faith Foundation. I have been with Faith for 7+ years, going to 8 years now. And I will be sharing this with you very quickly. Okay. Great, I'm waiting for you. Okay, so Faith Foundation's Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program is one of Faith Foundation's flagship programs. So Faith Foundation was founded in the year 2000, and at a time when entrepreneurship wasn't really subject matter of the day. It wasn't, I mean, people were trying to find jobs, blue collar jobs, white collar jobs, just join the civil environment and all of that. Entrepreneurship wasn't really the subject of the day. But Faith Foundation was born out of a clear vision by the founder and pioneer MD and CEO of GT Bank, Mr. Fola Adeola, and I'll talk about him a bit much later in this presentation. But the first stream we also had was in the year when the organization was founded, also in the year 2000. That's when we had AEP 1, and this is 2021, and we are already celebrating the centenary edition of the program. The Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program is Nigeria's longest running entrepreneurship program. To date, we have graduated over 5,000 entrepreneurs across 16 states in the country. We are proud of the numbers that we have today. I mean, by the way, the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program is only one program out of many that we run today. But as at the time that the organization was founded, this was like the major program that we ran. It was a flagship program, as well as the Emerging Entrepreneurs Program, which was designed for much more experienced and growth-oriented entrepreneurs. We've graduated diverse alumni across, diverse individuals who are now alumni members across all major sectors and industries from the business environment. So from fashion to food and beverages to real estate, to IT, to digital strategy, and whatnot. You can mention all of that, but we graduate from this program a lot of entrepreneurs from different sectors, business sectors and industries and spaces as well, but who want to be deliberate about building businesses and creating jobs and contributing to the general economic development of the country. This centenary class celebrates our 100th class, AEP class. We are very excited about this class. We are particularly excited about this class, but this class is very promising, has a future-ready curriculum. So we have revamped and continue to revamp the curriculum, has a very, very promising curriculum, and we have put together a set of faculty that I'll be showcasing or showcasing to you at the end of this presentation. But this program was and is designed for individuals who have innovative minds. So are you that person who has great ideas? You are able to come up with fantastic ideas. Those ideas might be running wild in your head, but you are not sure of what kind of structure and all of that to put together and so that the idea can be birthed. So this program is designed for you. And if you're looking to validate your product, you're already an existing entrepreneur, you are a startup entrepreneur, you are looking to validate your product and your service, and to showcase your prototype so that it can get validation and things like that, this program is for you. If you're interested in building sustainable business models, if you have heard or not heard about the business model canvas, that is one tool that will be explained and showcased to you. But it's a great tool to sort of show, to sort of help you see what aspects are the important aspects within your business or within your idea that if you harness and build and build upon, it will bring you the best revenues that you can think about. Are you desirous of building an effective structure and business process for your business if it's already an existing business? Do you want to expand your revenue generation capacity? This program is also for you. Are you desirous of value-adding jobs and of impacting your sector with which you are playing in, and also the entire value chain for which your business exists? This program is also for you. Next slide, please. Great. I'll quickly run through the structure and the resources of the program. So this program is, post-COVID, or when COVID happened, Faith Foundation sort of quickly pivoted to using, transitioned all of our programs to delivering them virtually. However, we've started to sort of have a mix of that, where we have some we are taking on the hybrid approach, where we have some of the sessions delivered in person and some of the sessions delivered virtually. That will also be the structure of this program. So we'll be using the hybrid approach, but it will still be facilitator. All the sessions will be facilitator-led. The style will be delivered through workshops and through seminars, and also facilitator-led. We would be guiding you on how to develop a winning and competitive business plan. We will be using styles around case studies of leading businesses with a lot of local content and local context to it as well. There will be quite a lot of pre and post session activities. Let me pause and say here now that you are actually back to school. So if you register for this program and you are admitted into this program, you can take it that you are literally back to school. We will have quite a lot of pre-reads that will help you to prepare you before some of the specific sessions that we'll be having, as well as post reads and then homework, assignments, and things like that, that we will guide you and work with you into doing. There will be, just like Dr. Badari mentioned, and also Dr. Oganzi mentioned, there will be quite a lot of mentoring and advisory support. One of the things that the in-classroom sessions, or whether it's delivered in person or virtually, will do for you is to provide you with the knowledge that you need for certain areas of your business. But once you leave the program, once the program is over, we've also realized that there's a lot that mentoring and hand-holding support can do to you, just in terms of helping you to practicalize your learning. Running a business in Nigeria is very hard. It is very porous, it is very unfriendly, it's very hard. And we know that, and we've also taken that into consideration. And so what the mentoring plan and the business advisory and consulting plan would be to help you to sort of practicalize your learning from the sessions, make it real. I mean, once you are done with the program and you are trying to implement the strategies and the knowledge that you would have gotten from the program, you will be faced with challenges. You will be faced with road bumps and roadblocks and things like that. But the mentoring program will help you to sort of go through that process and help you to practicalize your learning very seamlessly. So Faith Foundation is also a proud publisher. So we have published a set of books that we call the Nigerian Entrepreneur's Handbook. This is a book. So there are 7 books in one that will be handed over to you as well in this program. These books have a lot of content, a lot of great content beyond, beyond the teaching sessions, beyond the facilitation sessions. These books sort of go a long way to helping you while you are trying to practicalize. They will serve as reference points, and you can go back to them where you are faced with challenges implementing your knowledge and your learning from the program. Like I said, we are proud. We are also proud publishers as well in this space. Next slide, please. I would try to quickly walk us through the curriculum. Great, can you try to zoom this in, please? It's a bit blurred. So if you can zoom it in a bit, it will be helpful. Okay, thank you. So before I go on, I see Adenike Adeyemi here, our Executive Director. Like I mentioned in the beginning, she was unavailable to join us at the time when we started, but I see you, ma'am. Okay, you want to say something now? I would give you the floor. Okay, thank you.
If you grant me the privilege.
Yes, please. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's such a pleasure to see us all on the call, and we thank you so much for your interest in. We thank you very much for your interest in the Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program. AEP is our baby that is now in its 100th class, and that spans so many adult businesses and even grandchildren, I have to say, because we have a few of our AEP alumni members whose children have also come. In fact, we have two people whose children have also taken the AEP. Coin, you're welcome. I see Coin joining in. So thank you very much for your interest in the program and for interest particularly in our 100th AEP class. We're always excited to have you. My name is Adenike. I have the privilege of leading an amazing team at Faith Foundation, really to build, to design, and to implement programs to support entrepreneurs across Nigeria. And AEP was really was and continues to be the foundational program that has helped us even to develop and evolve a lot of all the other programs that we do, and serves as the main bedrock that a lot of entrepreneurs build on before going to other programs. Honestly, if you have an idea, if you're starting the business, or you've even been running the business for quite a while, and you're not sure how to go about it, you need guidance, you need help, you even need a team or support of other people within your programs, or like-minded entrepreneurs who also are sort of desirous of building very strong businesses, but not sure how to do it. The Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program, honestly, is the place and the program with which you will get that and you'll make that happen. And I look forward to meeting you all. I look forward to welcoming you formally onto the program. And I look forward to having you being involved. Please take advantage of this information session to ask all your questions. We've not done an information session in a while, and that's just because the reason why we did this is because it's our 100th class. So we're really, really celebrating it. And so what that means is that, you know, the curriculum itself, the faculty, the structure of the program, the design is almost like double dose of the previous ones. And that has nothing to do with all the other people that have done it before, but this new class is extra special and we're looking forward to it. And so congratulations to all of you. We look forward to welcoming you on board to the Faith Foundation family and to joining the AEP program soon. Like we said, please ask questions, please provide, ask for clarification if you're not sure, and we'll provide as much information as you need to be able to enable you make your decision. You're welcome, everybody, and thank you, Oge, for allowing me to speak. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Adenike. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for finding the time to breeze in here. So I will quickly go on. You've heard it from Adenike. Please, I'm just going to explain what the content of the program is, and then we can take your questions afterwards. So the curriculum is designed to provide you, like I mentioned at the beginning, with the relevant information, with knowledge, but not specific to any business sector, but really how to run a business and a successful and a sustainable business in Nigeria. In Nigeria today, you all agree with me that entrepreneurship is becoming from a few years ago, it has been like front burner conversations around how to scale up even the enterprise development space and things like that. So we will start off in the curriculum with really just bonding, icebreakers, getting to know each other. For those of you who would apply and who would be admitted into the program. And then we would have a session around introduction to entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship, what is it really? What are the different sources of entrepreneurial opportunities that are available? How can you tap into them? How can you access them? How can you identify them? And how can you access them? What are the different approaches to accessing and developing entrepreneurial, developing ideas into businesses, right? We will also be, and this session will be facilitated by the course director, Mr. Ibrahim Salau, who was on the call and who spoke with us early in the session. Great, I can't see the screen anymore. Great, are you trying to, okay, you stopped sharing. Please give me 1 second to share my screen. Apologies for this, I'm trying to share my screen quickly. Okay. Okay, please confirm that you can see my screen. Anybody, can you please confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes. Yes, I can see us.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I was talking about the introduction to entrepreneurship session that we would have, which will sort of help you, give you background, foundational knowledge about about entrepreneurship generally, how you can identify potential opportunities within the entrepreneurship space, how you can develop ideas, what are the things to look out for, what are the factors, what are the characteristics, what are the pros, the cons, and things like that. And this will be facilitated, like I mentioned, by Mr. Ibrahim Salau, who's the Managing Director of Environmental Accord, and who is also the cost director for this centenary edition of the AEP. We'll also have sessions around setting and smashing your goals. So what are the type of goals that you should be setting as entrepreneurial leaders, and as individuals who either already have businesses that you're running or you are about to jump into this entrepreneurship space? What types of goals should you be setting? How should you set them? What are SMART goals? We'll look at things like that. And how can you also develop action plans in terms of smashing, in terms of realizing, in terms of achieving your goals? This session will be taken by Mr. Elisha Maman, who is the founder of Elisha Maman International. We will then move on to, sorry, 1 second. What's happening? Great, I'm waiting for you. Can you make this bigger? Can you expand the screen? Okay, thank you. Okay, move on to the next session then. Okay, thank you. We will also have a session around design thinking. What is design thinking? What is the approach for design thinking? We will take you through a process of demonstrating. I will demonstrate through examples how design thinking works, how it has been used across many businesses and social areas. We look at the 5 or 6 blocks, building blocks of design thinking, which are discovery, defining the problem, ideating solutions, developing prototypes, and also testing or validating your prototype. A lot of people think that design thinking can only be useful for people who are really just starting to run a business. But no, it can also be used, people who are already entrepreneurs, you already have a product. You can also still use design thinking to sort of test your existing product. And then if there's a need to sort of work on it again, go back to the drawing table and look at it again, you can do that using the design thinking approach. And this will be facilitated by Ernest Akinlola, who is the MD and CEO of Right Instinct Limited. Then we'll also have a session around, great, I need you to move quickly. So one of the things we'll be doing with the design thinking session is that we'll allow you to come up with, develop and design prototypes, go and test it in the marketplace, and then come back and give feedback of your findings. So remember when I said you are back to school, it's really this is a very, very intensive program, very intensive, very hands-on, but also will be delivered in a very fun approach and fun way. So the design thinking session is a working session. You will actually have to go and test out and validate your prototype. Come back to the session and give feedback and things like that. And we'll guide you on how that structure would happen. We will also be developing new companies based on the sectors that will be represented in the program. We'll be developing new companies from the scratch, for which you can sort of practicalize all your learning in the session upon, and then you can take on from that learning to apply it to your individual businesses. We'll have a session around defining your market, understanding how to win at the negotiation table. Remember when Dr. Peter Badari talked about the negotiations class being one of his best sessions in the program. Will help you to identify different negotiation tactics and how to really win at the negotiation table. This session will be facilitated by Olufemi Alabi, who is a partner at Ernst & Young, Nigeria. And then we'll move on to have a session on marketing strategy. Marketing and pricing strategies. How do you promote and sell your products and your services? It's one thing to have a great idea. It's another thing to be able to promote and sell it. If you have a great idea and you don't have an idea on how to sell it, on how we can get to your consumers, the end users, that the product is as useless as it is. So yes, it's great to have a product, it's great to have a service, it's great to have an idea, but how do you pass it on to to your consumers, to your customers? How do you reach them? How do you persuade them to use your products? That's where marketing and pricing becomes a strategy that you need, a strategy and a tool that you need to have. And this will be facilitated by Mr. Friday Okuwe, who's the planning and strategy director at SO and U Sachi and Sachi. We'll also have the business model canvas session, which will be really just exposing you to what it means to have a viable business model. If you have a business and you don't have a model through which you are delivering your business, through which you are servicing your business, through which you are engaging your customers, through which you are reaching out to your customers, through which you are building the right relationship with your customers, then again, your business would be questionable and you would need some to work on it. So the business model canvas if you've been running a business or a charitable organization. And it's really an eye-opener. The business model canvas session is really an eye-opener. We will be using the business model canvas template to deliver this session, and it will be facilitated by myself. We'll also have a session on developing a business plan. How do you develop the right business plan that can help you win before investors, a competitive business plan that can help you get the funds in and get the right partnerships that you need, the right network that you need to continue to run and expand your business. It will help you to understand the importance of the business plan and the role that it plays in starting a business. It would help you to develop the plan that can guide your enterprise, guide the growth of your enterprise, and it will be like a blueprint that you can use to continue to run and work with your business. This session will be delivered by Mr. Bayo Adeyemi, who's the principal Sub-Saharan Africa banking coverage in Nigeria. Great. The next session, please move up. We'll also be looking at finance fundamentals. A lot of people don't like numbers. It scares a lot of people away, but as an entrepreneur, you need to know your numbers. It's something that should be front burner in your head, front burner in your conversations, front burner when you're talking with your team and things like that. So it's not excluded from this curriculum. How to develop and use a budget as a financial management tool, right? Understand what role budget plays in evaluating the performance of your business. Understand how to calculate startup costs for your business using simple startup costs and budget templates. Also cash flow, working with the cash flow statement. As a business, you have to continue to remain as liquid as possible, and so cash flow is very important in the build of an enterprise. So we'll be speaking to you about understanding the difference between a budget and a cash flow statement, and the importance of the cash flow in running a business. We'll also walk you through how to develop simple cash flow statements using very simple templates that we've also designed. This session will be taken by Mr. Damilotun Adibade, who is the Senior Financial Analyst with Coca-Cola Canada, bottling company. And he'll be taking this session also from his location in Canada where he is. We'll have a session on product development strategy. So in terms of strategy formulation, understanding the importance of strategy in starting and growing a successful business, learning how to craft strategies for your entrepreneurial ventures, understanding the importance of selecting target markets for your products and your services, and also learning how to develop sound customer service practices to expand and maintain your customer base. This session will be facilitated by Mr. Shani Suleiman, who's the Chief Operating Officer at Bell Hub, and is also a director on the board of Faith Foundation. And then we will have Finance Fundamentals 3, which is looking at your income statement, understanding the meaning and the key components of an income statement, profit and loss statement, looking at developing a simple format for you to use in understanding how you can manage your business financial performance over an accounting period, particularly in reviewing revenues and expenses for operating and non-operating activities within your business as well. It will also still be facilitated by Mr. Damilotu Ajibade. And then Finance Fundamentals 4 is around making financial projections. As a business, you need to learn how to make financial projections. Very, very important. You need to be able to look into the future of your business and make the right projections so that you don't miss it at any point in time. We'll have a CEO fireside chat, and this is like one of the highlights of the session of the program itself. We'll have a CEO fireside chat, which will be a very interactive chat and conversation with an amazing entrepreneur, Dr. Peter Badari, who spoke with us earlier on in the program. He will be joining us at some point in the delivery and the implementation of this program for a fireside chat with all the successful applicants for the program. He's the co-founder of Digital Encode, like I mentioned initially. And then we will have interactions with key funding partners, providers as well. You will agree with me that businesses, especially when you are starting from the scratch, you need funding. Funding is an important part and aspect of running a business. And so we haven't left that out as well. We're engaging with potential funding providers, and we will be creating a linkage between yourselves and these funding providers and partners at some point in the program. So we'll also have an interaction with key funding providers in the program as well. You will be working on your business plan and submitting it as well. So that's one of the major highlights as well from the program. And then we're not taking out human capital development from the curriculum of the program. So we'll be looking at sessions around how do you build a high-performing team for your business, for your company, for your idea. How do you put together a high-performing team? How do you build your team, online team for your growing business? Remember that since COVID, a lot of consumers and customers are now, social media has created a level playing ground for both business providers and also consumers and customers of businesses. So if you are not playing online, you are also, missing out on a large percentage of customer base that is buying and purchasing and transacting online. So we'll be looking at how do you build a team that can represent and manage your business online and offline as well. This session will be facilitated by Mrs. Roslyn Onolaja, who's the managing consultant of Stresset Integrated Services, which is a human resource, human capital consulting firm. Mrs. Roslyn is also a director on Faith Foundation's board. We'll also look at customer service. How do you engage with your customers? How do you maintain your customers? How do you retain your customers? How do you build an effective relationship strategy with your customers so that you continue to have repeat purchases? This will be delivered by myself as well. And then we'll have legal and tax requirements. Legal and tax considerations for small businesses in Nigeria. Understanding the federal, state, and local government tax requirements for running a business entity in Nigeria. And we will also be reviewing current business stages and key ways of calculating tax requirements. A lot of small businesses run away from the subject of taxes. I mean, for different reasons. People just wonder, why should I pay taxes when the government is not using that money to sort of ensure that there's an enabling environment, for example, for my business to thrive and all of that. But we would go through this session. If you already have experience with this, or you don't, or you have questions, we would be glad to take them on in the program. This will be delivered by Lanre Benga Martins, who is a lawyer at DIY Law, do-it-yourself law firm. Then we will be looking at business ethics, reviewing the impact of an individual's business decisions and actions on your company, on your employees, on the business community, and the society at large. What are those business decisions that you should run away from, having at the back of your mind that they will impact on your company greatly, if not today, in the future? They will impact on your employees, they will impact on the business community, they will impact on the society at large. We will also be looking at developing a moral compass around a range of business issues, including the adherence to Nigerian laws, global norms, and spiritual norms as well in the program. This session will be facilitated by Mrs. Marian Olaiya, who is the CEO of Marian Fumi, Oguntona and Co. Also, sourcing for finance for your business. Remember when I talked about finance, sourcing for funds? We'll look at this as well. We'll be providing an overview of different funding opportunities available for small businesses in Nigeria, in terms of grants, in terms of crowdfunding, angel investors, loans and equity, equipment loans and financing, and things like that. This will be facilitated by my colleague, Fatai Olayemi, who leads our growth and alumni support services at Faith Foundation. And then we'll look at managing business operations. How do you take your business to scale, from start to scale? How do you take your business to scale? Understanding what it takes to grow your business to scale, accessing how you can use digital platforms to monitor and track your business growth and your business scale. This will be taken by Chinedum Chijoke, who's the MD at Proc Sales Limited. And then we'll look at negotiation skills. And we'll look at apps and tools for small businesses in Nigeria, identifying different negotiation tactics again. This will be taken by, and then there'll be a practice session and so you go into like a session on how you can, where we'll have like a play role where you have investors and entrepreneurs trying to, agree and win at the negotiation table. This will be led by Mr. Olusheye Amusa, who's the learning lead of IF Idea Factory. And then we will look at, can you please move up? Developing an effective digital marketing strategy. How do you take your business to the digital scene? What are the kind of strategies you need to design and develop for your business? What is the digital strategy in itself? How can you sort of take from that digital strategy and implement, taking from your own individual business, what kind of digital strategies can you develop and design to also play on the digital scene? And this will be facilitated by Mr. Shegun Abodunri, who is the CEO of Terras Doxas Limited, TDX. Great, please move up. And then business pitch skills is a skill we also want to equip you with in the program. And this is really helping you to understand the importance of effective presentations and identify keys to successful presentations. Practice presenting your business as well. So we'll engage you in the business pitch skill where you will be pitching your business to your colleagues, to the faith team, to the faculty, and to a set of jury as well. And hopefully we'll have investors in the house as well. You also be pitching to them. But really, this session is to help you to understand the role that business pitches play in terms of helping you to create visibility in your business, in terms of helping you to be confident about talking about your business to another person. And this will be facilitated by Mr. Adetola Adebowale, who is the CEO of Wapa Apparel. And then we'll engage you in a pitch your business exercise, like I mentioned initially. And then there'll be a session on what next, where our growth support service team will be engaging you to get feedback from the learning objectives of this program, and also be introducing you to Faith Foundation, introducing you and enrolling and onboarding you into Faith Foundation's 3 months mentoring program, including the development of and submission, and we'll give you feedback on that. So you will not just submit them, but we'll also give you feedback on your business plan. So you have a competitive and a relevant and a winning business plan that you can use to approach investors in the future when the need for that happens. This will also be facilitated by our growth support and service lead, Fatai Olayemi. And that will be the end of the program, the end of the implementation of this curriculum, but of course not the end of your relationship with Faith Foundation. You become an alumni member of Faith Foundation right after this, and of course you have access to all our business support services and all our alumni community has to offer, which you would be introduced to by Fatai at the end of the program. So thank you very much. If you do have any questions, we will take your questions in a minute, but I see Koinsola Veracruz has joined us as well. So in a few minutes, we'll just quickly hear from Koinsola, her experience in the AEP 55 program that we had. Koin, are you here?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Please, the floor is all yours. Everyone, if you have questions, please take them down. We'll take your questions right after Koin has shared with us her experience. Koin, over to you.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Koinsola Veracruz. I'm not sure if you were expecting me earlier in the session, but here I am. So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I think I was in AEP.
Koin, we can't see you. Is that deliberate? Because I know that your video is
Can you see me now?
Okay. Yes, we can see you now. Thank you. Yes, we can see you.
Okay. All right. I'm at home chilling.
It's fine.
Okay. Okay. So I was at AEP 55. That was my AEP class. I think I started the AEP session about 18 months into starting my business. I'm not sure how long I'm supposed to speak for, but I'll just go ahead and say what's on my mind. So AEP is one of the best decisions for my business I ever made. So I'm a trichologist. A trichologist is a hair and scalp specialist. So I help, or we at our business help women and men or whoever is going through any hair loss or scalp issues. I don't know if you know that a lot of African women have issues with their hair, with their edges, with growing their hair and whatnot. I saw a niche there, and I thought, and I also had an interest in hair and hair care and African hair and how it grows and why it's so different and all that. So I then went ahead and did a certification in trichology to become an actual specialist in hair loss and scalp care. And then I set up Tresses by KVC, which is our trichology practice. And I think 18 months into running this, so when we started, it was literally just me and one other person that that I hired in there to work with me. So it was just two of us. Thankfully, today we're about a dozen, but at the time it was just two, and that was going on for about 18 months, and not that much was happening. We would have clients come in, maybe one client a day, two clients a day, and I knew that it didn't make sense. I had never run a business before. I'd never even thrown a party. Organized anything as little as a party before, and here I was trying to run a business. And then I came across Faith Foundation and the AEP program, just like what Oge just read to you, all the program, everything that I was supposed to learn. You know, it was so exciting to me as a business owner, because these were areas that even subconsciously I may not have, because I never went to business school. I'm a lawyer. I practice law. All I know is English. I know nothing. I knew nothing about organization and whatnot. And so even just seeing the curriculum for the AEP, if you do if your business is a serious business and you do have growth in mind, you have scale in mind, and this is what you want to do, I mean, for me, it was a no-brainer. Just looking at the different topics from structure to operations to budgeting to finance to goals, and it was so exciting for me. It was not even necessarily the most convenient time, but I knew that for me to move on to the next stage, which I eventually did the AEP program about 3.5 years or so after the AEP program, because I took what I learned from the AEP, I implemented it, and after a while I realized, okay, I think I've done what I can do with this program. Let me go back to Faith and let me see what else they have for me. So I think if it was a while ago, but when I was called upon to have this conversation, I went back and I thought about what really happened there. I remember the first session was taken by, I forget her name, but she runs SAS Textile. Okay, I'm not sure if you know her name. This
Badari.
Yes, exactly. This was the first class that we had, and I remember that it set the tone for the rest of the classes, because this class was really just about entrepreneurship and the mindset you need to have as an entrepreneur. And I remember she was very positive. She was very positive, and she spoke about how the business that she's running now was actually something that was passed down from her mom. So this was now the second generation of she and her siblings running the business. And I remember the thing that really got to me as she spoke was the concept of structure. I remember her speaking about how her mom ran the business and how she and her siblings now run the business. And her mom did great and everything. And she started working in the business from a very young age. But as it was handed over to she and her siblings, structure was a very important thing. And structure is one thing that AEP taught me that that I was able to put into place. So I felt like there were various aspects of the business that that I needed to focus on in that first stage for me to get off the ground. Structure, of course, being one of them. Like I said, there were two of us. And if I was going to implement all the other things I was learning, whether it was the marketing strategies or the digital strategies or any of those things, had to come with structure. And I think I just took everything I was being taught and just put it under the bracket and the umbrella of structure. And so what do I mean by that? So even down to the business operations. And when you are learning these things, you are learning them as individual topics, but at the end of the day, everything in that curriculum comes together. They all play into one another. So your finance, what you learn on finance and what you learn on business operations are really related at the end of the day, because it is your operations, that would lead to your revenue, that would then lead to you having to do the financial accounting and making sure that that's all right. So for me, the first thing was, how do all of these different aspects link to one another to have structure? And that was where the concept of the business planning really made so much sense. As we were going through the different topics, I was making sure that I was not just listening and answering questions, but relating everything to the business, going home and adding to that business plan, so that at the end of the session, you're not running around trying to put all the information that you've learned together into the business plan. So speaking about structure and operations, one thing was very important. It's one thing to have all the knowledge. It's another thing to work with the knowledge. The first thing for me was to put together an operating procedure, which I really learned to do when we had the session on, I'm trying to remember which session it was. I think it was a class on, what was it? Let me see if I can find it here. I can't remember, but the first thing was sitting down and looking at the different areas of my business and putting an operating procedure to it. So whether it was operations in terms of, and sometimes these are the most, it might sound, this curriculum might sound complicated, but it's the most basic thing. For example, operationally, it was sitting down and putting a standard operating procedure together, so that when we walk into our business in the morning, because at this point I thought, okay, marketing strategies, okay, that makes sense. Or let me start from the business idea, the product, before I move into structure. Faith Foundation actually helped me to understand what my product was. At first, when I started, because I'm doing hair care, we use a lot of products, we use a lot of natural oils, essential oils, coconut oil. I thought that was what people wanted to know. I thought people wanted to really just, I thought the more I scream and shout about coconut oil and shea butter, the more people would come to my business. It took me some time. and the knowledge that I learned at Faith Foundation to understand that my business was not marketing and sharing coconut oil and shea butter, because coconut oil and shea butter is not a problem. The problem was hair care, hair loss. So even with marketing, my mind was framed into understanding that you are selling the wrong thing. You think you are selling hair care, but all people hear is coconut oil and shea butter. You're not selling the service. So that helped me to really define my product. It really helped. And this would come when you are asked about your mission, your vision. These things might sound so basic and mission. My mission is to so. My vision is to know. But clearly knowing and defining these things helped me to clearly know and define my product, helped me to now actually know what I was selling, which attracted clients. Clients are now coming in. We need to have a standard operating procedure. That actually, yes, that actually also helped me to put together this operating procedure. So whether it's about what happens when we all walk in there in the morning, very important. These touch points, because it's a service business I run, these touch points are very important. Another thing that was very important to me was budgeting. At the time, when we began to grow, where we had 2, 3, 4, 5 members of staff, all the way to a manager, that became much more difficult for me because I was not as hands-on as I used to be, and budgeting was very important. In fact, at the time that I went to Faith, I wasn't really thinking about it when they taught me, but I was able to go back to my notes at this point when I realized that cash flow and you know, the money was just as the revenue was coming in, it was going out. So I really needed to understand about budgeting and about financial planning. And at this point, I went back to my notes. And even to the lecturer who taught us on these things, you know, because once you've made these relationships, another thing was the relationships that were made. All of these people who come in and speak to you are very great networking contacts to have for the rest of your entrepreneurial journey. So I remember even with budgeting, I went back to my notes. I understood budgeting so much more. It wasn't about it wasn't what I thought it was, which was when problems come, you fix. It was, you know, about allocation. I learned a lot about capital allocation and whatnot. Anyway, the point for me is just that AEP really framed my mind on entrepreneurship, helped me with understanding business operations, marketing, customer service, budgeting, and really took me to the next stage where I was able to attend the emerging entrepreneurs program, because at the point in time that we needed to be there, that's where we were. I hope this has been helpful. I'm here if there are any questions, and yeah.
Thank you very much, Koyi. Thank you. Koyi has a lot to say. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for coming and joining as well. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. I really hope that we've learned it. So they've all said different things, and I hope that we've learned a thing or two about the program already, and also from the curriculum review. If we do have any questions that we also want to ask, we can also ask now. Let me quickly introduce you to the AEP Centenary Edition faculty. Like I mentioned before, and I'll continue to say, we're very excited about this particular cohort. The Centenary class faculty is made up of Faith Foundation's founder, so Mr. Fola Adiola himself, leading entrepreneurial leaders, professionals, mentors, and experienced entrepreneurial mentors and advisors, and also some of our very successful AEP Aspiring Entrepreneurs Program alumni members. So we have a list here, but this is just a few of the people who would be facilitating sessions in the program. So there's Mr. Fola Adiola, there's Mr. Ibrahim Salau, there's Shani Suleiman. Great, I wanted to quickly run through the names. Okay, there's Shani Suleiman, there's Adenike Adeyemi, Dr. Peter Badari, Mrs. Rosalind Nonolaja, Adetola Adebowale. I've called some of them in the course of the in introducing the curriculum. Marian Olaya, Ernest Akinola, myself, and many others who will be speaking to you and leading the curriculum of this program. Just a few of our alumni members, people who've gone through the program in the past. You can look at the list. If any, great, can you increase the screen? Any name jumps at you, you can also speak with them just to get a sense of the program as well. But just to mention a few of the people I haven't talked about already, African Farmer Mogaji of So he's an agripreneur. Ayoyinka Abolari, Delumo Abolari, who's the CEO of Play Place. We also have Joke Silva, who founded Lufado Academy, Juliet Aigbe, Cake Flair, Max Menkiti, who's the CEO of Millennium Apartments. I'm trying to just call out names. Professor Shegun Shomefun, who's an ENT specialist with the Ilukweju ENT Hospital. Titus and Tobias Igwe, they're twins, CEO, co-founders of Variety Chef. Let me see. Yinka Oshobu, who's the CEO of CMC Interiors. I'm trying to just look through very quickly. Fire Williams, who's the CEO of Simply Exponential Consult. CFA, Chukuma Fred Agbata, who's the CEO of Founder Institute. Dikpo Davies, who's the founder and CEO of Real House Publishing. And just a lot of people. Bumi Davies, who's the CEO, founder of startup, what's it called again? Stand Up Nigeria, Bumi Davies, and a lot more. So Honorable Abdul Bak Balogun, who's the CEO of Lagos Ferry, Abimbola Tiamiyu, Mona Matthews. This is just mentioning a few of the alumni members who've gone through the AEP program in the past. Next slide, great. So the program fees, the standard fees for the program is 200,000, but with the AEP Centenary class, we have given a 25% discount, which brings the program fee to 150,000 naira. And this is really just to cover the cost of running the program. And the cost is all inclusive of registration, the books, case studies, materials, and other program resources that you will be getting. Faith Foundation is largely supported by volunteers. So imagine the faculty list that I showed to you. We cannot pay them with a fee of 200,000. We can't pay them. And these are people who are really just volunteering their time to share from their wealth of knowledge and wealth of experience with us. And they are doing this pro bono. So this is excluding faculty fees because there's nothing like that covered in the program. But to get more information about the program, you can please visit www.faithfoundation.org/AEP. You can send us an email at aep@faithfoundation.org, or you can call us on 070-11-305-444. At this time, we would like to take your questions if you have any already. And if you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand, and then I will ask you to unmute yourself, and then you can ask your questions, or you use the chat box as well. I will read out your questions and provide the response to it as well. So this is the Q&A time now. If you have any questions, something wasn't clear to you, or you need further explanation on something that I had mentioned, you can please ask at this time. Do we have any questions? I'm looking in the chat box just to see if we do have any questions, or you want to speak, you want to ask your question, you can unmute yourself and do that. Any questions? Everything was clear? Sorry. Okay, seems we don't have any questions. Very explanatory. Okay, thank you, Wura. Is it going to be fully online or hybrid? So it will take on a hybrid approach. It will take on a hybrid approach, and we would communicate the location for the training. However, Faith Foundation is located on the first floor of the Lagos Water Corporation building in Ijora in Lagos. But we will have sessions virtually, and we also have sessions in person. So a hybrid approach is what it will take. Mura, I hope that answers your question.
Hello.
Hi.
I already sent my question to the chat box to Great. I don't know whether he wants to read it to you or I should repeat it.
Let me see. I'm going to try to find it now.
Please check. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. The question says, a question goes like this, says, hello, I just registered and joined the meeting. Okay, I'm sending my questions inquire to you directly. So I am an accountant who is practicing accounting in PPP, the same way that Dr. Peter Badari just mentioned. In what way can Faith Foundation help me build structure?
You are an accountant, and in what way can Faith Foundation help you build structure? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, that's the question.
Okay, first of all, do you have an accounting business, or you work in an organization as an accountant, or you have a business in the field? You can please unmute yourself so that it's clear.
Okay, like I wrote there, I said I do accounting services like a PP, like a Dr. Badari did his engineering business. So, but if
Okay,
they come
so
one,
you have a business.
Well, I can say I have, but I don't have any structure. It's when it comes, I don't have a presence anywhere, and those are the
Yeah. So one of the things. Okay, I get your question. Thank you. One of the things that I mentioned in this early on in the presentation is that the AEP program is designed to help you build structure. So when you say how can you build structure, register, apply for the program, get shortlisted and admitted in the program, and you'll find how you can build structure. But there's a lot of ways that Faith Foundation can help you to build the structure that you're looking for.
Okay, thank you, because I see that part of the curriculum, most of it has to do with what I do.
Okay.
So yes, fantastic. And I'm not going to say they are my fear, but I'm like, what am I going to learn that is new? And part of your alumni, I can see Mona Matthews. Maybe I will also speak with her.
Okay, fantastic then. Fantastic. Please do.
But yes, I will hear. I would love to hear from you too, as many witnesses as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem, Adebo, Miss or Mrs. Adebola, no problem.
Mrs.
I'm very okay. Thank you, Mrs. I'm very certain of what the curriculum of this program offers. It's one thing to have head knowledge of something. It's also another thing to be able to practicalize it, put it into practice.
Yes.
And that is really what this program is about. It will help. There's an experiential and a practical side of this percentage in terms of the knowledge and the learning from the program. And I'm sure that that's what you from it.
Thank you very much.
But please feel free to speak with me, Mona Matthews. Please feel free to do that. Any other questions? Great. Can you have access to the curriculum once again? Oh, sorry, can you post the hybrid? Great, please put in the Faith Foundation address. Mr. Chris Ikenna is asking, what's the training flexibility like? So the trainings will happen on alternate days. It won't be a Monday to Friday thing. It's on alternate days, twice in a week. Great, am I correct?
Yes, you are.
Yes, yeah, so the sessions will happen twice in a week on alternate days. So it's not every day. I believe that's a response to your question around what's the flexibility of the training like. So it will happen twice a week. Some of the sessions will be delivered virtually and others will be delivered in person at Faith Foundation's office or any other venues that we would be communicating to you ahead of time. There's also a question around, can we view or have access to the curriculum? So if you go to our website, you will see an overview of the curriculum on the website. So if you go to www.faithfoundation.org/AEP, you would have access to the curriculum for the program. /AEP, you would have access to the program structure, the program content, description of the program, and also have a view of the curriculum as well. Mr. Chris Ikenna, okay, you were just correcting something. Okay, that's fine. Do we have any other questions? Do we have any other questions? The program is scheduled to start on the 28th of this month, on the 28th of September. So we are currently still taking in applications. The deadline for applications will be on the 25th, I think, of this month. So please follow us at Faith Foundation on Instagram, on Facebook, to get the updates of the program, of this event. So that you also have an idea when the program is ending, when the applications are closing, and things like that. And you can also have updates of the program. Social media handles are at Faith Foundation across all the platforms, Facebook and Instagram. You can find us at Faith Foundation, and you would have more information about the program as the days go by. But the deadline for application submission will be on the 25th of this month. So please reach out to us if you have intentions to apply and attend the program. Do we have any other questions? No other questions. Okay, so any installment payment plan? Yes, there is an installment payment plan where you do about 70% of the total fee before the start of the program, and the remainder before the end of the program. So please feel free to call us on that number, and we can guide you better with respect to this. But yes, you can pay in installments. Okay, so there's a 70% before the start of the program, 20% during the program, and then 10% before the end of the program. But like I said, please reach out to us, and we can have this conversation on a one-on-one basis around the fees. Can we go ahead and pay? Yes, you can go ahead and make payments. Your payment confirms participation. So once you have registered, you can go ahead to make payments, and based on that, we will contact you and give you other information that you will need for the program. So Wanuola, you can, yes, please go ahead to pay. No. Once you have applied, you can, like I said, payment confirms participation or confirms the next levels of engagement. So once we have received that, we will contact you and let you know what the next steps would be. Okay. You are welcome. Barring every other thing, let me see. Okay, no questions. Okay, thank you everybody for your attention, for your participation in this. With this information session, I believe we've been able to provide you all the necessary information that you need. Thank you, Wanuola. Thank you very much. Thank you. What is the official start date? The official start date is the 28th. The 28th of this month is the start date of the program. Thank you, Mr. Shola Olakade. Thank you, Mr. Imafidon Anthony. Thank you very much. And I hope to get your applications coming in. Like I said, we're we're particularly excited about this particular cohort because of the faculty that you will be engaging with. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for your time. And see you. I will be looking out for your applications to come in, and also looking forward to meeting you in person in the program. Have a nice day, everybody. Thank you for your time.